Sometimes you just capture a moment in photography. Those photos can be a defining moment in someone's career. This photo was the one that sent me down the path to becoming a photographer. I spent every free moment that I had in the darkroom.
As we move into advanced photography in AP, it's more of a relief for me, enjoyment for me, because I try to teach it or run it as a college type class where rather than me telling the students what to do and how to do it, it's more about me generating ideas from them and them coming up with their concentration or theme idea on their own. You know, I'll guide them, but for the most part, it's going to be their creation.
My concentration was graffiti. If I wasn't developing film, I was printing photos. Printing photos in a lab is much more than just hitting a print button. You have to expose the photo, then put it in Developer. It's a hands-on process. It isn't instant gratification like with digital. After the photo is sat in the fix and goes through the wash, then it's the time when the fun really begins. Coloring the photos. Adding the pastel colors to the graffiti made it look like it was a work in progress.
Basha has a dark room because Basha is a newer school, and when they opened it in I think it was 2003, I was happy that they're adding a traditional wet lab, because most newer schools were getting rid of them and going all Mac labs, digital. Once I knew that they're building a wet lab here, I definitely was interested. I came down and actually got to tour the building before it was even completed. There was no roof on the building. And my first response to our then principal was, we need to make it bigger, because it's very small. 10 or 12 workstations in there. I'm used to traditional labs having 30 workstations where you can get your whole class in there.
With photo becoming cheaper, many students are finding interest in the darkrooms, but newer schools are not building them.
At the end of her teaching career, when I was student teaching with her, and I remember her distinctly saying, you know what, you should probably just go get really good at Photoshop, because the wet labs are they're gonna go away probably within the next 5 years. And of course, I was pretty, at that point, I thought, do I really want to do this anymore? Because my passion, the thing that I like the most is working in the lab and working with students in the lab and creating. So I was kind of disheartened there. I stuck it out, stayed with it, and needless to say, this is almost 20 years later, 2013 going into 14, and we still have wet labs. And the students are just as motivated now as they were then to go in the lab and work and create.